Okie dokie. Let's take a look at good old Xanadu. I don't know what that says. You are stalling at the end, and then it just disintegrates into symbols. Cool. This thing is also very loud. Let me turn this down. Okay. This thing is in rough shape. Do these switches do anything? Conway flips an unlabeled switch. Still unreadable text. Okay, that's worse. It does kind of look like a house. Kind of looks like a house. Type house. Typing house. Still illegible. That is also unreadable. Wow, this thing is just going haywire. Something in Lula. Something the computer. They are crying on their backs and being something. Did that say Lula? Typing Lula. Something Donald. I've got the time machine and the something part from the School of Music. Something won't type so much. Joseph has something punch cards transcribed from the something paper something reader. And you've something, how's your back holding up? I mean, that's definitely something, but I'm assuming it says back. Damn, I can't tell what she's saying. Oh, I have my portable degausser with me. What's a degausser? Old systems like this one can build up a remnant magnetic field that sort of warps everything along whatever pattern it's settled into, you know? The degausser clears that up by suddenly shaking the magnetic field around until it's uniform again. I really hope that works, because this is making a lot of noise. That's how I like to think of it anyway, like shaking a snow globe. Haha, worth a shot. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, wait. After what may have something, something, you stumble, something, tunnel, a cave, something. Well, okay. Stalactites adorn the ceiling like something. The center of the something, something, something is where you something set up your something. Premature end of file, press any key to quit. This is a lost cause. What a piece of junk. Yeah. What a way to start off today. Those very annoying noises. Oh, scene 6, let's go. Hall of the Mountain King. Maybe I can turn my volume back up a little bit. Okay. Bizarre. And what was that about Lula? Maybe Donald knows how to clear it up a bit. I am not going back to you. Let's go see Donald. I feel like I've already looked at the fire. That really is the sound of the truck. I also do not like that sound. Sounds like a dying animal. Donald! This camera is panning very slowly. Come on. Not Amy, I want Donald. Down here. Can't see it because it's behind my camera, but it's down here. Right behind me. Here we go. So, you've seen it for yourself. What's left of it? Pretty busted. The chalky bones of a beautiful dream. You can see what it once was, can't you? Can't you? There's so much more to it. Ornate labyrinths of memory, exhaustively simulated parallel cave ecosystems, real artificial intelligence built on sophisticated neural network algorithms. The birds in the forest could flock in 3 dimensions. The bats could learn to sing. Then it began to crumble when the strangers came. First we only heard them walking heavily through the caves, dragging things around, hammering and clattering their tools. Sometimes we heard their working songs, never close enough to make out real voices, just their echoes cascading wordlessly in the tunnels. Then we caught a glimpse of one. What were they working on? I shouldn't be telling you this. They're dangerous. They're strange. I should never have tried to outwit them. They were always too much for me, but it's too late now. If I'd listened to Lula, Lula? Lula Chamberlain? Yes, of course. Oh, do you know her? We're looking for her now. No, she's gone now. She left. We built this together, did you know? Lula, Joseph, and I. Lula is gone from here, but Donald points across the cave with his pipe, still in there, in Xanadu. I don't know where Lula is now, or how to get there from here, or how to unwind that damn tangled hideaway, but Xanadu, before its ruin, was faultless as an oracle, a shrine to perfect simulation. Until, well, maybe? Hello, PW. Happy Monday. How are you today? How was your weekend? These weird interlopers destroyed my xanadu. Perhaps they know how to fix it. It may be dangerous. I've spent many eager seconds to negotiate with them to repair my masterpiece. Back there, that tunnel. Push back the vines, crawl out into the darkness, watch your step. After a while, you'll feel the terrain change beneath your hands and knees, from rock to crystal and then to mud. Then you'll be out. Mostly work. I'll be happy in a few hours. Oh, start of your weekend soon. You get to have your break while all the rest of us are working. You don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but I'm curious what you do for work. But you don't have to answer that if you don't want to. That's where the strangers come from. Now leave me alone. I still have a bit of mold in my pipe and a few dreams left. Mold? Is he smoking mold? Gross. Doesn't sound healthy. I mean, yeah. Worse than tobacco, probably. Scene 7. Where the strangers come from. Oh, we're in a cemetery? Is this where the strangers come from? Still hearing that noise? Oh. Well, we got out of the Hall of the Mountain King. But, oh no. Well, this can't be right. Looks like an old church. Worth a look inside, I guess. I want to stay outside. Okay. I'll stay with him. We can look for lizards. Oh. Okay, we'll make it quick. Whoa. That's a lot of things to look at. Find any lizards? I wasn't really looking. Nice cover story, kid. Do you have a family? Well, I've got Johnny, the weird vector. I've got you folks right now. Is that a family? Let's call it what it is. Junebug and the people she surrounds herself with. See? It means something. It makes a claim. It's specific. I mean, maybe it sounds specific to her, but like, the people she surrounds herself with doesn't sound specific to me. I want to be specific. I think you are. It's the middle of the night and here you are in a graveyard. Any other kid your age would be in bed. You've just got to make choices and own them. You think I was born this foxy? Came off the assembly line about half a foot shorter and all gray, no eyes. They were going to have us clearing out the old mine. Doesn't matter what you look like under all that rock and water. A bunch of gray shadows shoveling and hammering invisibly at the walls, draining the tunnels. Johnny found some gear, an old tape player. We hid away in an underwater cave and listened to it over and over, and we knew we weren't miners. We slipped out onto the road, just these two featureless shadows, and ever since that night we've been detailing, coloring in, specifying. Now that makes sense. That sounds specific. I feel more like myself every day. I feel more like myself when it's just me and Julian. Well, there. Now you're getting specific. Aw, I could have looked at all those things, but I didn't. There you are. What'd you find in there? It wasn't... Hey, what's going on? You looked flushed, old man. Doesn't matter. What happened? Right, okay. We got what we need. Let's go. We're just zooming right through these scenes. Back in the Hall of the Mountain King. I don't really like the Hall of the Mountain King, to be quite honest. Feels kind of claustrophobic. Singing softly, trace an orbit round the road and close your eyes with holy dread, for we on mold and whiskey fed and drank from rivers down below. We found your strangers. We know how to fix your damned machine, but I'm not sure it was worth it. Oh, soon the visions will return. What have you found? They say you need to scrape the mold off the timing crystal. But the mold... Of course, too much mold on the timing crystal will send the simulation adrift, each moment lived out of sync. By all means, yes, clean the timing crystal. I guess we're gonna clean the mold off the timing crystal. I don't feel like mold is a good thing to have in your computer. But maybe Xanadu is a special case. Walking and panning, try to get to the dialogue over here. This is slow. I wish I could like drag it myself. Roberta? Did we talk to her last time? I don't remember talking to Roberta. Maybe we did. Where's Xanadu? Here we go. Do you see anything that looks like a timing crystal? Yeah, right here behind the control panel. It's filthy. Right, we're supposed to scrape off this black moldy stuff. Weird. Just following instructions. Here we go. Okay, new scene again. Back to Xanadu. Did we scrape the mold off already, or do we still need to do that? Okay, this is promising. end of road. I can read that. And that's a legible image as well. Okay, here we go. You are standing at the end of a road before a small brick building. Around you is a forest. Is this like a little choose your own adventure game? Is that what we're doing right now? Check out the building. Enter building. Inside building. You are inside a building, a storage shed for the National Park Service. There is a sensible, modern electric lantern nearby. Get the lantern. Get a lantern. Taken. Exit building. Enter forest. That's not something you can enter. Just type a direction. Typing north. In forest. You are in open forest with a deep valley to one side. Can we climb a tree? Climb tree. I don't think much is to be achieved by that. Sorry. Can we dig a hole? Dig a hole. I can't see any such thing. Pretty limited vocabulary. South. You're in forest. Hey, it's a maze. Let's go west. West. You're in forest. Okay. Lula is here, soldering replacement components in a small handmade radio. Oh, we should talk to her. Ask Lula how she is doing. Hi, Donald. So I guess our person is Donald. I'm getting the strangest interference out here. I've been tuning the radio circuits gradually as we go, swapping capacitor values and tweaking resistor networks. It was working for a while, but everything I can pick up sounds so distant and muffled. Lula hands you the radio. Well, maybe you'll have better luck. You're good at this stuff. Just don't forget to give it back. Let's go east. You're in forest. Joseph is here, tapping with a small stylus on a modified pocket braille slate. A small gray kitten, no more than a few weeks old, dozes comfortably on top of his backpack. Maybe he has something to say. Listen. Donald, I was just transcribing your footsteps. Sounded like... Joseph runs his finger along the index card he's been tapping on, from right to left. Long, weary song, drearily gone, dearly gone. You beat a melancholy shuffle through these woods, Donald. Huh. I've been noting down the sounds of the forest, with an ear for speech, and an inbound filter for poetry, I suppose. So maybe it's me being melancholy after all. I'm eager to see what the poetic subsystem makes of these punched cards. North? No. At edge of hole. Oh, that's kind of spooky. Kind of looks like a vertebrae in a spine, and also a wormhole. And it has this scary noise that might be drowning out my own voice. Not sure. You're at the edge of a massive hole. The dirt gives way to rock as the ground sinks into darkness. The computer tied to your upper back slickens with sweat in the afternoon sun. The rope slung around your shoulder has slipped under the strap of your backpack, digging uncomfortably against your collarbone. Shine the lamp into the hole. Light lamp. Your lamp is now on. Shine lamp in hole. The lamplight only reaches a few yards down the hole, where the rock is coated in a slimy black mold. You can tell that the walls are too slick to climb safely without assistance. Try using the rope to climb down safely. Tie rope to tree. The rope is tied snugly to a tree trunk. Down. Your feet slip a few times on the slimy rock, but you remain stable. Lula and Joseph descend carefully after you. In bed quilt. A cave. You're in bed quilt, a long east-west passage with holes everywhere. Joseph and Lula remove the computer equipment they are carrying on their backs and begin setting up. That's the last trip, so everything's down here now. Say something back to her. Say something back. You make an awkward joke. Don't be so morbid. Lula looks pensive. What's the gear they're carrying? Ask Lula about gear. Sure, Donald, we may as well take inventory. I've got the tape machine and the synthesizer parts we borrowed from the School of Music. It's all tuned up to my voice so he won't have to type so much. Joseph has his slate and the punched cards he's transcribed from the poems we read him. He's got the typewriter and the paper tape reader. And you've got the CRT display. How's your back holding up? Ask her about the cave. Having second thoughts? I don't blame you. It's unsettling down here. Weird acoustics. Earlier, as we were climbing down, I thought I heard voices for a moment. Or not voices themselves, but the echo of voices singing some kind of eerie, tuneless working song. I'm glad I'm not down here alone. Joseph looks uncomfortable. Jealous? Wait, why is she jealous? Hey, Donald, can you help me wire up these generators? I'll assemble the synthesizer, but I could use some help with the serial interface if you have time. You hear an unfamiliar echo from a tunnel to the east. Wire up the generators. I appreciate it, Donald. I'm not much of an electrician, you know. You know that. Joseph hands you a bundle of wires. His kitten curls up on a spool of cabling. Listen, the three of us had a good thing for a minute, wouldn't you say? Up at the old place, before it got ugly. I'm saying we came down here to work, to really do it, xanadu. And I mean we've got to be rational about this. All three of us have got to put our feelings aside for a bit and be rational. Do you know what I'm saying? Is he talking about Lula? It's kind of creepy. Tell Joseph to back off. Joseph wipes his brow with a dusty sleeve. Seems down here we're all strangers, permanently strange. You are interrupted by the ominous echo of a grating, scraping sound from the east, louder than before. What the hell was that? Let's check it out. In tunnels. You rush down the tunnel with Joseph and Lula close behind. It got kind of intense back there. No wonder they're still thinking about it. The tunnel narrows and soon you find yourself crawling on your hands and knees. Navigating the tunnel gradually becomes more awkward as smooth rock gives way to jagged crystalline surfaces. Scratches and taps echo from the end of the tunnel. Some short and piercing, some slower and groaning as if dampened by water. The tunnel opens into a large room. In crystal room. Oh. Oh, this is unsettling. I don't like this. You are in a large, irregular chamber. The walls, floor, and ceiling are covered with crystalline projections. Strangers are here, scraping black mold from the crystals. They look up when you enter. One of them seems about to speak. Finally. I mean, I'd run if they actually looked like this. But, I mean, it doesn't, the computer is not specifying that they look like these skeleton people. So I'm gonna give it a chance to see what they say. The stranger reaches for a box he's carrying and presses a plastic button. The box whirs to life and a crackly voice blurts something unintelligible, then slows to a deep gurgle. He looks at his companions momentarily in confused disappointment. Then he returns his awful gaze to you. Joseph flees through a tunnel to the north. Lula flees through a tunnel to the northeast. Follow Lula. Run north. Wait. No, that's where Joseph went. I'm trying to follow Lula. She went to the northeast. Okay. Lula's headlamp scans across the northern passage as you run. Soft shadows loom perplexingly from floor to ceiling. You feel around to distinguish shadows from crystals, but eventually find yourselves cornered. You have hit a dead end. Who are they? Let's find a way out of here. Escape. That's not a verb I recognize. Look for escape. You can't see any such thing. Listen, I think they've gone back to work. They seemed strange somehow. Maybe they've forgotten about us. Alright, let's try to pass by them quickly now. Don't make eye contact, then we'll find our way back to the equipment. I guess we made it back, okay. You are in Bed Quilt, a long east-west passage with holes everywhere. Lula is here, panting for breath. Did they follow us? Where's Joseph? Search for him. Search? I only stand you as far as wanting to search. We have to be more specific. Search with the search equipment. The various computer and audio equipment casts angular shadows into the tunnels as you scan slowly across the pile. Nothing. Down one of the tunnels. You select a tunnel at random. Your lantern illuminates several sets of footprints on the moldy cave floor, but they are impossible to identify. Joseph climbs down from the rope, still tied above. That damn sound, those damn voices, I don't even know what direction I was running. I wove through the network of tunnels. I ran my hand along the wall, always turning left, but every turn and every rock felt the same. For all I knew, I was running in circles. Finally, I ended up here. And I hid. I panicked. I heard you talking, but I didn't think I could trust my senses. But listen, there's one thing I have to tell you. While I was out there lost in the tunnels and caves, I came across the Zero, and I had no idea. It's like a real place. They pick up garbage, they deliver mail, they go to work and to church, but it has an awful kind of emptiness. Wandering through, I heard horrible echoes. Weird images got burned in my mind's eye. A television, a scarecrow, a crystal, a feather, a sandwich, a CRT monitor, a bottle, an anchor. Lula looks down at her feet. We should ask him more about that. Ask Joseph about the Zero. Donald, you've heard the same damned stories I have, but it's different. It doesn't matter now. Damn it, I'm leaving. To hell with all of it. Get him back on track. We're so close. Divert Joseph's attention. You shout something at Joseph about the project you are working on together. You'll die in these damn cold caves, and what about those men? You know they'll come back. Tell him we can find somewhere to start a fire. Suggest finding somewhere safe to start a fire. You shout something at Joseph about going deeper into the caves. Did you hear their voices? They're not... They'll find you, but not me. I'm going back to the surface. Stop. Your stupid fight is ringing through the whole damn cave. Joseph is right. We can't stay here. I'm leaving too, but I'm not going back to the surface. I'm taking my station wagon and I'm heading down the Zero. I think we need her to stay. Ask Lula to stay. You plead with Lula about your continued collaboration. I'll send you this tape when I'm done recording. I'll put it in the mail, and then you can see what your damned machine does with it. Lula and Joseph have left. In tunnels. Abandoned by your collaborators, your confidants, your companions, the only two among your colleagues with whom you've ever trusted with the gift of your friendship. That's dramatic. Pretty thick. Sounds like Beardo had his heart broken. You wander the tunnels alone, dragging along the components of your unrealized masterpiece, combing the underground passages for a new site in which to realize your vision. Sounds like a genius. How do you mean? Wordy. Huh. I had a guy who came into the shop once with a bunch of old radios and computers and stuff. Real junk. I think he collected it going down alleys or something. Anyway, it was all broken. He asked me if I could get the tubes out and clean them up. The vacuum tubes. So I pulled every vacuum tube I could find and threw the rest out. And I went over them with some rubbing alcohol and cleaned the leads. I used some nail polish remover on the glass. I did a pretty good job. He came back the next day and I laid it all on a towel for him so he could check it out. I got the towel from my Aunt Remedios, and like everything with her, it's really kind of nice, you know? It's red and has this gold embroidery around the edges. I guess it was a little too nice. This guy got all excited by the presentation, kind of circled it and observed each tube from a distance, moving his head in a weird, quick bobs like a pigeon. And then he started just lecturing at nobody in particular about the history of vacuum tubes. He talked for an hour. We went on a few dates, but nothing really came of it. Turns out he was kind of boring. I mean, I could have told you that before you went on the dates, Shannon. Hall of the Mountain King. After what may have been years, you stumble out of a tunnel into a cavernous open space. Stalactites adorn the ceiling like grotesques. In the center of the room is an enormous rocky spire. This is where you will set up your equipment and establish your legacy. Oh, we're looking at Xanadu on Xanadu. This is getting pretty meta. It's like Inception. Now is the time to continue your work. Research assistance, 0. Realism index, 37%. Romance index, 2%. Mold coverage, 0%. You may hire a new research assistant, assign assistance to a task, or sleep until tomorrow. Hire a new research assistant. Uploading job advertisement to university message boards. You have hired Amy, who studies human-computer interaction. Assign assistance to a task. You may assign research assistants to debugging, transcription, or speculation. She studies human-computer interaction. Well, debugging I feel is pretty straightforward. Transcription, I'm not quite sure what this means, but I mean the general idea of transcription, I know what that is. Speculation is I have no idea what this means in context of this, so let's go speculation. Assigning available research assistant to speculation. Hire a new research assistant. Uploading job advertisement to university message boards. No new applicants. Try again later. Let's sleep. Time passes. Amy discards centuries of exhaustive data on the uniformity of cause and effect. Now is the time to continue your work. Research assistants, 1. Realism index, 22%. We went down. Romance index, 7%. Mold coverage, 8%. You may hire a new research assistant, assign assistants to a task, or sleep until tomorrow. Let's go with hire again. Uploading job advertisement. You have hired Greg, who studies architecture. Assign assistants. Debugging, transcription, or speculation. Go with transcription for him. You have 2 research assistants available today. Assign how many to transcription? Let's do both. Let's try hiring again. No new applicants, try again later. Let's go to sleep. Time passes. Amy types up some lurid imagery from a dream journal. Greg extensively notates tunnel diameter as a function of length. Greasy black mold is collecting on the computer equipment. %, 27% realism, 17% romance. What is this romance index? 19% mold coverage. Let's do another hire. You've hired a weaver who studies mathematics. Signing, debugging, transcription, or speculation. Let's go debugging. Let's do 2 to debugging. And then assign the last one to speculation again. So now they've all had an equal amount of speculation, or of each category done. Here, try hiring again. I doubt we'll get a response for that. Yeah. So we'll sleep. Time passes. Amy identifies a bug with the oxygen level simulation, but is unable to fix it. Weaver makes adjustments to the echolocation algorithm. Bats now fly normally instead of getting hung up on each other's wings and clustering together like horrible, leathery tumbleweeds. Greg makes a convincing argument for the edibility of stone. Uh-oh. Intruders. There's a weird hand. Okay. The strangers are doing something to the equipment, but you can't make out what. You hide behind a rock until they leave. With trepidation, you emerge from your hiding place hours later. Now is the time to continue your work. I'm not convinced this is getting us any closer to the 0. 32% realism? 27% romance? Oh, no more mold. Okay. Did the strangers take the mold off? Hold on, I've got a message. Okay. Hire, assign, or sleep. Let's try hiring again. Try to quit and start over? No way. Hired Roberta, who studies fairy tales. Signing. Let's do debugging. 2 to debugging. One to speculation and 1 to transcription. Sleeping again. Time passes. Greg widens the tunnel slightly to reduce the need for extra crouch commands. Weaver fixes some weird math with some weirder math. Roberta summarizes the migratory patterns of the bats through the tunnels. Amy muses about the love lives of fungal colonies. Amy? Weaver follows the strangers into the tunnels. She doesn't return, but neither do they. Ooh. Try hiring to replace the one that went missing. Andrew, who studies statistics. Okay, let's assign. Let's do 2 to speculation this time, then 1 to the rest. One to debugging. And 1 to transcription. Time passes. Andrew fixed bugs. Roberta carefully transcribes the sounds of dripping water in all their variations over a period of several hours. Greg posits that nature, not reason, is the master of industry. Amy had ideas. Greasy black mold is collecting on the computer equipment. I mean, no, it doesn't. Should I just start over? I wonder if our realism index should go down to 0 in order to find the 0. Because the 0 is like, I don't think, even though it is real, I definitely wouldn't like categorize it as something that embodies realism, you know? For Ezra. If I don't get where I need to go in the next like 2-ish rounds, 2-ish days of this game, then I'll officially quit and start over with the with this Xanadu thing. Let's get another assistant. Rick, who studies library sciences. Assign. Let's go 2 to transcription this time. 2. Assign 2 to debugging. And then the remaining one to speculation. Time passes. Rick fixed bugs. Roberta fixed bugs. Andrew transcribed experiences. Greg transcribed experience. Amy had ideas. A mail carrier on a bicycle brings you a sizable bill from the power company. Yeah, I don't feel like this is working for some reason. Realism index is going way up. So is everything else as well. I'm gonna do one more of this and then try it again. Marianne, who studies fine art, will assign 2 to each. Time passes. Amy fixed bugs. Andrew fixed bugs. Marianne transcribed experiences. Greg transcribed experiences. Rick had ideas. Roberta had ideas. Intruders again. The strangers are doing something to the equipment, but you can't make out what. You hide behind a rock until they leave. With trepidation, you emerge from your hiding place hours later. They remove the mold, don't they? Yeah, they're just removing the mold every time they come here. Let's do one more because I want to get this to 100. Just to say I can get it to 100. Connection failed. So we can't hire anymore. We're gonna go 2 to each again. Time passes. Andrew fixed bugs. Greg fixed bugs. Roberta transcribed experiences. Marianne transcribed experiences. Amy had ideas. Rick had ideas. You prepare a nutritional meal of boiled cave moss seasoned with a salty, translucent paste you've harvested at great personal risk from stalactites. Yeah, we're not going anywhere. 99. We're starting over. No, Ezra. Quit. You sure you want to quit? Yes. Oh. That was a rhetorical question. Exit? But you aren't in anything at the moment? Maybe you have to lose or die somehow in order to start over? You're not gonna smash the computer. What does eat the lamp mean? Eat lamp, don't be ridiculous. Maybe we have to wait it out. Wait indefinitely. Time passes. Research assistants come and go. You don't encounter the strangers again, but sometimes you hear the uncanny echoes of their voices off in the tunnels. Years pass, mold accumulates. You and the remaining research assistants take to burning disused equipment in the center of the room. The black mold is intensely flammable. It makes an excellent catalyst. It leaves behind a sweet narcotic perfume. One night you have visitors, outsiders, different ones. Then, later that night, an old friend. You really did go deeper into the caves. Premature end of file. Press any key to quit. Did we like catch up with ourselves? That's what it seems like happened. That took a long time. Act 3, Scene 10. At least we're out of that simulation. Lula's here. To Donald, you really... Oh yeah, we did catch up with ourselves. You really did go deeper into the caves. Well, you were easy enough to find. I've met a few of your former assistants. One can't help but hear things. So, this is what became of our project. Oh, I've made some additions. Joseph stole the data tapes for the first half, so I've had some blank spots to fill. Yes, I know. He published his version, actually. I'm sorry to report that it's a bit tediously sentimental. We've been looking for you. So you found the address data? Just pass it over to Donald here. Donald, will you be a dear and crunch these numbers? We're looking to sort out a street name collision, Dogwood Drive. I always forget that, like, this game started off with us just trying to find an address, and we're still trying to find an address, and we have had to go through all of this stuff in order to find this address. Wild. Wasn't the Bureau going to process it? I insist. I have cycles to spare. I'll just pack my pipe and get to it. It should only be an hour or so. Andrew will carry it over to... I'll be at the Bureau for the rest of the night. Just mark it private materials for the attention of Senior Clerk Chamberlain. How do we get to the Bureau from here? The bridge. Yes, the bridge. Through the gate over there. Sentimental. Now we, too, recede into history. Good night, Donald. Meet me at the Bureau, and we'll get you on your way. Head counterclockwise to the cathode ray. Counterclockwise. And then turn around. Then it's just clockwise until you find the Bureau. Between us, I think you should drive. I mean, did Donald give us what we needed? Can I not talk to Donald anymore? I thought he was supposed to get, like, crunch some numbers or whatever. Guess we can go back to the gate. I don't want to talk to Roberta. I just want to get out of here. The gate is open. Let's go. Get me out. What backpack is this? A hiking backpack leans against a rock. It's full of empty wine bottles and library books. Got another musician singing. Someone has left a portable tape recorder on the path. It doesn't appear damaged, but there's no tape to play or record. The bookshelf was carried only partway up the path here before the project was abandoned. It's still useful. The peak of the spire is crowded anyway. A sensible modern electric lantern has been left here. The batteries have long since died. Let's finally talk to Blue. Blue, I've missed you. Thanks for waiting, Blue. What have you been doing? Keeping Johnny here company? What happened up there? I'm actually not sure. Very mysterious, ma'am. It is definitely time to go. Get me out of here. Okay, we're supposed to go counterclockwise until... Counterclockwise until... Oh shoot, what was it? Uh-oh. Counterclockwise until we hit something and then turn around. But I can't remember what it was. It wasn't the cathode ray. Wasn't children. Don't know if it was the lantern. Well, we're just hitting the same things now, so it's gotta be one of them. Okay, I feel like it definitely wasn't children. We can try lantern, I guess. The backpack. Tape recorder. Cat carrier. Or no, this is not the way we're supposed to go. I can like look at the children. I want to look at the children. About a dozen children are gathered in a shallow, dry basin to the side of the road. They are seated on overturned pots and pans arranged in 3 configurations. One group of 5 children are clustered to the right, one group are arranged loosely in the center, all facing an older girl who sits on 3 pans stacked together. The boy at the head of the arrangement looks sternly down on another child. The younger boy kneeled on the stone floor without a pot to sit on. A square stock pot, perhaps belonging to the younger boy, is set to the side. Ezra stands next to the younger boy. The older girl nods solemnly to Ezra. The older girl takes a wide green leaf from the floor next to her and pretends to read off a list of charges. The younger child is accused of making agreements for trading card exchanges which he was not able to honor. The judge asks for a witness to testify. A boy describes the participants and events depicted on the trading card he was to receive and makes related claims about the defendant's nature. Ezra is prompted to argue on behalf of his client. Ezra makes a case for mistaken identity. The judge invites the jury to examine the defendant more carefully. The defendant slyly rearranges his hair. The jury is sequestered a few feet away and returns with a verdict of not guilty. The groups of children reconfigure themselves and a new trial begins, with the former defendant now as judge. Okay, kids. I already tried the lantern. Let's try the rope. Not the cat carrier. I've definitely gotten all turned around. I have no idea where I'm supposed to go. That's to the 65. But we're not trying to get to the 65. Are we? We're trying to get to the 0, to the bureau. I'm gonna do it because I don't really know what else I'm supposed to do. Here we are. Should have done the cathode ray way before. Scene 11 of Act 3. Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. Got the time, Blue? Nah, you don't care about that. Maybe I should be more like you. Is that Lula with us? No, that's not Lula. Who is that? This is Lula. Here you are. Marianne has the rest of the evening off, so I'm minding the desk. Any word on the address? The results just came in by courier. Good news, Donald and his assistants were able to sort through the noise. I had I can't read tonight. Cross-referenced the results against some of our records. He found a corresponding mail stop on the Echo River route. As it happens, the night ferry is scheduled to make its stop here shortly. The ferryman carries the mail and collects the garbage as well. I'm sure you can catch a ride out that way. Corresponding mail stop, Echo River route. You're welcome to wait here. I have to get back to packing. Are you going somewhere? I might. I'm feeling impulsive and I'd like to be ready. Maybe back to Mexico. It's been years. They still have one of my sculptures in a museum down there. Did you know? Big, ugly iron thing. Time to have it scrapped anyway. Safe travels. Try to stay out of the water. It's colder than it looks and deep. Where's the ferry? Oh, we've got a robot person with us. That's that sound. When did we get a robot person? When did this happen? That's what's been making this sound the whole time. It's not the truck, it's the robot person, but I don't even remember when we got the robot person. I can't go this way. How long do we have to wait? Oh, who knows? Alright, what happened? What? In the church, at the graveyard. You two came out of there all weird. What happened? Wait, is Junebug the robot? Right, this is Johnny. That's Johnny. Ezra. That has to be Junebug. Junebug wasn't always a robot, was she? Did that just go completely over my head? It's okay. You can tell them. It doesn't matter anymore. Fine. So we were in that graveyard. We're not gonna even find out. Scene 12. Oh, I guess we're reenacting it. Well, this can't be right. Looks like an old church. Worth a look inside, I guess. I want to stay outside. Okay, I'll stay with him. We can look for lizards. Okay, we'll make it quick. Let's go in this church. It's kind of spooky. don't know what I expected. The strangers, he kept saying. Kind of vague already, isn't it? Donald's a stranger? Hell, you and I are practically strangers. Listen, earlier, in the mine, I didn't want to talk about it, but you don't have to talk about it. No, it's okay. I want to. When I saw Weaver, she was on TV. I was testing a pretty simple tube repair, flipping through channels to check the saturation, and she was just there. It was kind of horrible. I mean, I told you she disappeared suddenly, ran away, but we thought... You thought she was dead. Yeah, I guess I don't like to say it. Dead. And then, the next time I flipped to channel 2, Weaver. It's burned in my vision now. She's standing in a room. The walls are blank, kind of gray. There's tape on the walls, like markings, and desks, a classroom maybe. The camera's in the corner, so it's this sort of 45-degree angle into the room, and there's Weaver right in the center of the picture. I stopped turning the dial. Hell, I think I stopped breathing. Eventually she spoke, but there was no real sound, just this awful hum. I read the closed captions. She said to go to the mine. I'd find something there. I can't remember her exact words. Whenever I try, I get distracted. Fuzzy. Shannon coughs into her sleeve. It's so dusty in here, right? Yeah, real dusty. You'd think with all these holes in the ceiling. What the hell was that? Did you hear that? Musta... The strangers were definitely skeletons. And they're glowing just like my Conway's leg. Is Conway turning into a stranger? Oh, I am the stranger now? The stranger activates the tape player slung on his shoulder. A crackly drawl echoes in the room. It is patient and sounds like it should be smiling. My regrets. I hope I didn't keep you waiting long. We don't see a lot of foot traffic these days. I guess you're here about the job. I'm afraid we only have one opening at the moment. Horrible business. We're actually looking for some information about an old computer. Certainly, I'll tell you everything you need to know. I've only just met you, but I feel certain there's a place for you here. I'll just take you over to meet the dispatcher, show you the trucks, get you familiarized. We can converse as we go. What is this place? Well, it's not an old church. No, I guess not, but still, it all has a kind of reverence to it. What's that smell? Like bread? Baking bread? Please, follow me. What is this? Not sure what that's for. I have to ask you to step in here a moment. This is for your safety, and adjust your outfits just a bit. There's some protective headwear up on the wall back there. Please remove your shoes and eyeglasses. I'm not taking off my shoes. Oh, I understand. It's only a courtesy to... Or a courtesy? Well, do us a favor and put on the headwear anyway. Just this way. did you take off your shoes to protect yourself? These guys are looking a little like faint. Can I? Oh yeah, it does. Ooh. Interesting. Earl. This is Earl. He used to be a beekeeper. Borrowed some used casks to store the hives, but the interest accrued more quickly than the honey. Now he works for us here in logistics. Wow, check this stuff out. It must be decades old, but it's in perfect condition. How do you think they keep it like that? Maintenance, old man. I bet it's someone's job around here. Probably hard to keep all the dust out, you know, underground. That's why I got into this business, to keep old stuff like this running. Seems like such a shame to let it just fall into ruin, you know? Like that computer back in the cave, Xanadu. Decades of engineering, thousands of years of mathematics and philosophy, all petrified into living stone. How could you just let that fall apart? More new arrivals this evening. Plenty to do. Got to relay the formula. What job are they working? I don't know that it's been settled just yet. You see, sometimes we take on newcomers already in debt to the distillery. Oh, is this the Hard Times distillery? That matches up with the skeleton man we saw collecting the debts. Spooky. One of the foremen will find something for them to do, chip away at their sum until it's all settled. Oh, is this Pearl's parents and, what's her name? Is it Emily? No, Evelyn. That's them. That's what I'm doing here, chipping away. That's what we're all doing. I can't talk to this person anymore, I guess. Here's the fleet. Haha. Oh, we just use these to get around internally. How big is this place? Oh, it's grown a great deal over the years. Incredible to think, really. When Mr. Bishop founded this operation, it was only about 1,800 square feet, and half of that or more was occupied by camouflage to keep the law out. Hiding out in the back of an old church, purifying spirits by handmade fire. A kettle and a dream. So, the trucks are just east ways and shipping. You can become acquainted with the dispatcher there. Give me a tap on the shoulder if you see something that catches your eye. Always happy to show off the facilities. Sublime machinery. Can we drive one? We're in logistics right now. Oh, we get to drive. Can I crash into the truck? Can we talk to this guy? Zeke. How'd it go, Zeke? Zeke just did a bit of recruiting. Stopped at a tavern to collect payment and returned with able bodies. That was who we saw earlier. Haha. think it's cool that it's like smart enough to do like a 3-point turn. The AI. Before we go to shipping, I want to see what's over here. Looks like distillery stuff. Yeah, distillation. Spirit safe. Confidentially, don't let them catch you looking too closely here. Not within our purview. What's it for? Keeps us honest in the eyes of the state? Well, in the eyes of the management anyway. We keep pretty well out of view down here. Not much chance of being spotted by a helicopter. Hey. But if the law came knocking, we could say we're logging and securing our virgin spirits. We could say. Marvelous engineering, though, isn't it? Connie. Connie, how's your rat? Connie is a great lover of animals. Do you know she's adopted over a dozen pets in the as many of the last years? Does that make sense? Of course. Death comes to all things great and small. The distillery found that the remains of her makeshift pet cemetery were trespassing on our subterranean property. Well, our hand was forced. In order to avoid the legal extinguishment of our easement, we were required to file a civil suit. Ever the level head, Connie agreed to a pre-court settlement to pay off her fines by working for us here. Warehouse, can we go up these stairs? Anything in there? No? Please, don't touch a thing. Very sensitive devices. We're not even allowed to run the formula through them. We have some computer issues of our own. Computers. Personally, I am opposed, on principle. Am I boring you yet? Are you simply dying of boredom? I myself could discuss this matter past sunrise. We're trying to fix this old computer in the caves? Of course, I'm boring you. Let's move on. Ted. How's it looking, Ted? Get that new fan installed? Ted met one of our engineers at a bar some years ago and they just clicked. Our engineer told him about some trouble with the equipment here and he felt compelled to take a crack at it. Ted's been obsessively tuning, replacing, and upgrading ever since. Quite a project, Ted. You'll get ahead of it one day, I'm sure. Danny. How goes the mystery, Danny? Danny's an enigma. He leases an old van from our fleet for some kind of daily art project. He drives out every morning and comes back by evening smelling of propellants. Can't afford the lease in cash, so he pays us with work here. More of these old computers. Looks like about the same vintage as that stuff in the cave. How can you tell? Oh, I don't know this make or model, but you can tell. Check out these tubes. Nobody uses these anymore. I'm not sure what they'd even, or where they'd even get replacements these days. It's rare stuff. Hey, this is like antiquing with, is this like antiquing with Lizette for you? I probably sound kind of ridiculous, waxing on about vacuum tubes and oscilloscopes. It's good to have a passion. Yeah, I guess it is. Someday you'll have to tell me what yours is. Guess maybe we should go back to shipping before going in. Oh wait, going in the warehouse. Just backing straight up. Here it is. Now, I have to ask as a matter of course, what kind of experience do you have driving trucks? I drove deliveries for an antique shop up until this last run. Precious cargo. You'll do just fine. And you can drive safely, can't you? I haven't any doubt now. It's only after what happened with Miguel this evening. What happened with Miguel? Well, the dust is still clearing, of course. Perhaps he closed his eyes a moment, or simply heard it hit a curve too devilish. I do pity ill-fated Miguel. He was good company and slow to anger. But if we're speaking confidentially, well, with all that lost product to be repaid, bourbon and glass dashed across the interstate and a few casks too, we're all just thankful he had no next of kin. So, let's see if we can ring up the dispatcher. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. No. I wanted to go into the warehouse. Dang it. Doolittle starts the truck and switches on the CB radio. A deep, monotonous voice drones from the dashboard speaker. 10:20 on that load. Come back. Up in the Hummingbird Cave, 1012, City Kitty. This is a good time, dispatch. We may have found Miguel's replacement, though you might like to get acquainted. Thought you might like to get acquainted. 10-9, come again. Introduce yourself. Hello? Tell dispatch something impressive about yourself. They're very well regarded here. I guess 99 wheel holder, gotta pay the water bill. So I'm starting the call back before long. Let's take a look around the truck, eh? Looks like it's just about ready to go out. We have some good strong folks in shipping here, so you'll never need to worry about loading if you don't want to. Bit hard on the knees and back at our age, eh? Of course, you'll have to unload at the destination, but that's the job. And some drivers like the extra shift stacking and loading here. Did Miguel load his own trucks? He did. It was a jealously guarded task for him. If I didn't know the man better, hear me now, I say if I didn't know the man better, I may have suspected he was skimming off the top. I want to say this one because it's random and I'm not sure what they're trying to get at here. Conway woke up on baled hay. Everything was too bright. Oh, I think we're having like another vision hallucination flashback thing. Everything was too bright. His head hurt, the usual. Lizette and Ira argued loudly just outside the open barn door. She wanted Ira to take him inside and shower, have some coffee, get to the job. Ira said there wasn't time. Conway was in no condition. It was an important job. They couldn't put it off. Ira said to let the deadbeat sleep it off and then send him packing. He said Charlie could do the job. Conway stepped out of the barn, shielding his eyes. He tried to say something reassuring, but just sort of stumbled around it. Lizette looked away. Ira just spat and went inside to wake Charlie. Ira was a stubborn man, so Charlie went along and Conway drifted out again, and he didn't hear about the accident until months later. So, what next? Oh, sure, I know you'll want to look. Kick the tires, that's the thing we do, isn't it? So our knees could exert the kind of force these tires see out there on the road. We're more likely to hurt ourselves. Isn't it the way, eh? Tires look fine. Oh, I'm sure. It wasn't the tires that failed our dear Miguel, we are quite sure. Conway sat in a dim room full of folding chairs. The walls and ceiling were painted with old smoke. Someone read from the book. He drank coffee with a little sugar. He listened. The speaker listed all the things we tried, that we, most people in the room, were probably there by court order. A few others shared. They spoke in abstractions like a program of action, a good, orderly direction, spiritual but not religious, religious but not spiritual, and all things we tried. Hello, have you had your brick sandwich today? You know, I know they say that a brick sandwich a day keeps the doctor away, but I am being a little rebel, and I have not had my daily brick sandwich. How are you today, Proto? Have you had your brick sandwich today? Then it was over. They clasped sweaty hands through a short prayer and stepped back out into the morning. You've had 3? Holy cow, you've had more than enough for me then. I don't need to eat a brick sandwich when you're eating 3 a day. I hope they don't give you, like, indigestion. Yeah, sitting a little heavy. I would expect as much. Make sure you drink some water. Water with those sandwiches. He knew it was time to hit the bar. It was good to get out of the heat, away from the mendacity. I don't know what that means. I'm gonna look it up. Mendacity. Untruthfulness. Okay. Good to know. He settled into it. Someone else from the meeting was here looking rough. He focused on the television. A nature show was playing, something about river dolphins. They cruised the Amazon, eating psychedelic frogs and having weird adventures. I would have guessed that was a made-up word. I mean, it did look pretty made up. But also, aren't all words technically made up? If you think about it. All words are just made up. It's just if you know the made up word or not already, I guess. At night, they transformed into attractive young partygoers and wore hats to cover their blowholes. This television program is going in a weird direction. Now, what else can we show you? That kind of sounds like a weird Animorphs, as if Animorphs was already weird enough. Control the wipers with this knob here. Do little fiddles with the controls. They seem to have a decent torque to them, eh? Can't say how they'd fare in an ice storm, but we must never delay a shipment. Better to assume the risk. I also ate up Animorphs as a kid. I loved those books back when I was like 10, maybe 9 or 10. I read a ton of them. I don't remember what happens in any of them, but now I kind of look back at them and I was like, they're kind of just out there. Also, the other books that I like ate up when I was maybe like in 6th grade, I think, the Warrior Cats, those books, I loved those books. And it's also kind of cringy looking back on, but I loved those books. You folks watch the weather closely? I wouldn't know it if I saw it. Too many years of climate control. Have I mentioned I rarely, if ever, leave our facility? I wouldn't know the rain if it drowned me. They ditched class for the day to drive in the rain. It was pointless to stay. All review. He was a lost cause, and she didn't need it anyway. She was smart, bored. It was time to cut out. Shitty day for it, though. 83 and biblical flood. They went to see a movie. It was some anonymous swashbuckler film about real men and women, real tights, real lips, fake blood. They brought a flask. They smoked cigarettes, drank awful hooch. Am I just like ignorant, or what does that mean? Does anyone know? If it's some kind of alcohol, I probably don't. I don't know that because I don't drink. I am naive when it comes to those kinds of things. Whistled buckets of rain. She sang about someone she wanted once to have loved. Brown hair, brown hair curled around her ear. She had a voice like Scotch whiskey. General term for booze. Okay. Good to know. I learned a thing today. They poured another drink, and another, and another. She worried it was getting dark out. Then it was getting light out. They ended up in someone else's field, in someone else's car, an early morning joyride, and a sunrise collision. She got on the bus, and he hiked back to his car. He sat in his car and went over some options. Chicago, Toronto, Barrow. It seemed like a bold and impulsive gesture at the time. As he pulled out of the parking lot, he removed his hands from the steering wheel for a moment and felt the car drift into a decision. Years later, he'd think of this as the moment he himself started drifting. Imagine deciding where to go based on how your steering wheel just drifts. Wild. I am not impulsive or spontaneous enough to do that. A modest technology, but suited to the job, eh? Plenty good enough. It's gotten very dark in the warehouse, I've just noticed. And I still haven't actually checked out the actual warehouse yet. I don't know if I will. Usually low quality booze. Okay. Headlights work fine, see? Do little fiddles with the controls. That's important. Most of our product goes out at night. You never know who you'll run into in the daylight, and dusk can be treacherously misleading with all that indirect light. The magic hour, eh? Drivers sleep in the day then? Sure, those that sleep. Miguel pulled extra day shifts when he could. Sometimes he'd help me, sometimes over in bottling. He shouldn't have been out driving at dusk. Weird shadows, soft light, dangerous. Conway had to get off the highway. Too loud, too murky. He turned off into some gray cornfield in Indiana. He watched traffic and birds. Seeing those migrations close up, they looked random. He thought about the load in the trailer, thousands of plastic cups. Somebody wanted those cups in Rockford that night. it was pointless. So, moving on. The truck's radio crackles back to life. Driver, come back. Ah, there's dispatch. Now tell them about your experience. Tell them the truck's in good shape. Tell them you'll start in the morning. I really can't. Yeah, we've got to finish this delivery in a few. 10:33, dispatch, got 2 black eyes and a flock of crocodiles, come back. 10:4, back it down and prick your eyelids, driver. Come back, Lem. 10:4, come back, wheel holder. I want to get out of here. I don't want to drive this truck. I already have a truck of my own. Conway remains silent. Dispatch is addressing you. He's here, dispatch. Got your ears on? Good. Listen to this. Silence. So, I think that went well. Let's head back up to logistics and seal the deal, eh? And I've got one more thing to show you. Okay, can we finally go to the warehouse? Oh, it looks like the ramp to get up there is not available anymore. Oh no, it's over here. Doolittle takes very sharp turns in this thing. I would not like this. Oh, I can't go in here anymore. I missed my opportunity. I'll just back it on out. Come on, Doolittle. Could have done a better parking job. Let's head back upstairs, eh? I've got one more thing to show you. Wait, we only came here looking for some answers about this stupid moldy computer. Oh, the old man in the cave with the moldy computer. That black mold, it's drawn to whiskey. It feeds on ethanol fumes, you see? As we age the whiskey, some of it inevitably evaporates into the air. The angels share. It goes through the vents here and out into the caves. If we can scrape up that mold, we can usually apply some pressure and cold to it, squeeze and condense the angel share back into drinkable whiskey. Every drop counts when you're making a living on the stuff, so we'd go down and scrape it off his equipment just like any other place it grows. He kept sending his people here to drive us away. Paranoid. Truly paranoid. Well, now we have the formula, so we don't need to go collecting mold. Since we stopped going down there, I'm sure the mold's gotten plenty thick. Pretty thick. Try cleaning off the timing crystal. That'll get you going, I'm sure of it. I guessed right. So, join me upstairs. Back in logistics, which is here, right? Or do we go all the way back upstairs? I'm moving very slowly now. Maybe it's all the way upstairs. We'll go all the way upstairs. Come on, Conway. If you don't mind taking off our hard hats, looks like. At least we got to keep our shoes on. Here it is. A beauty, wouldn't you say? It's an antique, you know. What is it? Why, it's an adding machine. This is where we come for a daily ritual, to calculate the day's interest and repayment according to the formula. I usually do so at the beginning of my shift, so I know how many hours I need in order to keep up. Yes, I believe you'll do well here, sir. Happy to have you. Congratulations, you're hired. Wait, we can't? It's customary here to start each day with a shift drink. Let's make it special. Mark the occasion. This is the top shelf stuff now. Single barrel. He doesn't... Down the hatch. Vinum memoriae mors. I don't know Latin. Oh look, I can like see the graveyard at the edge. And I cannot control my cursor. It is doing that all up on its own. It clicked for me. That was... I'm not kidding, it clicked for me, and that was kind of creepy. Decent enough, welcome aboard. He's not working for you. We have to get back to this. He has a delivery to make. What's this? Not working? Are you turning down this opportunity? She's right. I have to make this, I'm disappointed. And I'm afraid that leaves us with a delicate problem. As I indicated, this is the top shelf stuff you're drinking now. It isn't cheap. If it's not your first shift drink, well, and there's a matter of this tour just now, my time and experience are billed at quite a premium. This is not good for you, my friend. You're in quite deep, and by my back-of-the-envelope estimations, well, we have that in common, I suppose. All of us. Yes, I'm afraid you'll have to work this off somehow. It's just the way of it. What's happening right now? You can start tomorrow. Take the time to settle your affairs. Of course, the interest begins to compound immediately, and, well, we'll go over the formula when you get here. I should get back to work. See you tomorrow, then. Yikes. That went downhill very quickly. So, I guess I start in the morning. I guess. I'm confused. It's just the way these things go, kid. Huh. Well, that still gives us a few hours to roam, right? Where's that ferry? Here it is. What is that? A mammoth? End of Act 3. Well then, you know what that means. We're more than halfway. Here and there along the echo. Okay, before I start this next section, I'm going to take a quick break and refill my water, and I will be right back. Okay. Hello, I have returned. Hi, Matt. How are you today? Good to see you. How's your Monday? I'm doing all right. Mondays, I'm not a fan because it's just right after the weekend and I have to go back to work and stuff like that, but it was okay for Monday. It's been raining the past few days, so it's hard to get out of bed. I just want to, when it's raining, I just want to stay in bed and sleep in, but it was still a good day. Okay, we're gonna start this section, in between 3 and 4. You're a big fan of Mondays, because I have Mondays and Tuesdays off, and I work 2 jobs on the weekends. Oh, first day off after a long weekend. That makes sense. So Mondays are almost like your weekend for you. I can understand that. I don't think any job I've ever worked has worked on a weekend. So I've always had the normal Monday through Friday schedule. And so I am well acquainted with the slowness of a typical Monday. Okay, it sounds like we need to call this number. Didn't I call this number in real life when I saw it on that pamphlet the other day? There we go. I had to put it up to my ear.
Hello. You have dialed into Here and There Along the Echo, a guide to the Echo River.
This is the number I called the other day.
This guide is a public service provided by the Bureau of Secret Tourism.
Oh, I've basically always worked weekends. I worked for a catering company, so the events are usually on weekends. A lifeguard, and now I work as an Apple technician and a waiter. So all of them have, working weekends. Yeah, that makes sense.
If you have an extension to dial, press 9.
I've always just worked
For more information about our organization, press 3. If you don't remember dialing this number at all, press 5. To hear these options again, press 0.
My job in college was like a administrative desk job, and
For a menu of our resources, press
be quiet, man. I'm trying to talk to Matt.
If you have an extension to dial, press 9. For more information about
My job now is just like a desk job,
press 3.
9 to 5.
If you don't
And
remember,
then the only other job I've really had is in the summers,
these options
between school semesters when I was off school, I worked as a maid for a house cleaning service. So, I mean, that was kind of different, but it was still like a Monday through Friday kind of job.
For more information about our
I don't know what to do here.
press 3.
Go 3.
The Bureau of Secret Tourism is supported by a generous population of river creatures whom I fix up and grill as necessary. I am environmentally minded, and I believe all creatures are equally deserving of support in their transition to the next world.
Okay.
So I usually try to sing a little elegy like, small water creature, crab or frog,
Huh.
Something like that. It's easier to come up with these songs when I'm hungry in a sort of transcendental fasting state, but I've actually just had breakfast. A debt of gratitude is also
I like this man's voice, though.
of reclaimed spaces who unselfishly and unknowingly donates this here telephone line for the purpose of this here informational resource. You can always find the latest secret tourism literature in any of our unmarked kiosks or any other old place it happens to lay. That's all I have to say about that. Hey, do me a favor. When you get a chance, call us back at extension 1928.
1928.
Press 0 now to go back to the main menu.
I'm gonna use that extension.
Welcome home. For historical sites along the Echo River, press 1. For a guide to the river's flora and fauna, press 2. For help identifying an unfamiliar sound, press 3. If you're holding a snake right now, press 4.
I'm not holding a snake.
To hear these options again, press 0.
Oh, no extension. Wait. I'm not gonna press 4. Hang up. I'm gonna read dial. No. Who's Emily? Oh, wait. I remember Emily. I'm gonna use that extension we just got. If you call this number like on your IRL phone, you'll also get this same like phone tree. It's very fun. I spent some time calling it the other night. Hello, Jeremy. Yeah, we're doing the phone tree, but like in game. It's the same phone tree now. I mean, still. It's very fun and kind of cool and weird. I recommend doing it. We got a new extension to explore. It is like Inception. Come on, give me the extension. I don't know what number the extension is. I mean, I remember the extension. I just don't remember what number I have to press for it.
For a menu of our resources, press 1. If you have an extension to dial,
Here.
press
9.
9. Now is the time to dial an extension.
Okay. 1928.
I just want to listen to the wind blow. Or even better, television static. Can you tune your TV to a dead station and let the static play into the phone? When you're finished, press the 0 button.
I would if I had a TV with cable. But I don't. Gotta go, but have a fun stream. Just wanted to drop in. No worries. I appreciate you coming by and saying hi. Have a good rest of your evening. You'll have to tell me about your weekend next time you come by. I'm gonna just say 0 because I don't have a TV with static.
Welcome home. For historical sites along the Echo River, press 1. For a guide to the river's flora and fauna, press 2. For help identifying an unfamiliar sound, press 3. If you're holding a snake right now, press 4. To hear these options again, press 0.
Press 4 for you, Matt.
You're probably not in any danger, but why are you holding that snake?
Why are you holding that snake?
An exchange of some kind, press 1. If holding the snake is part of your spiritual practice, press 2. If you don't remember why you're holding the snake, press 3.
Well, Matt, what is it?
To the main menu, press 0. Okay.
Other one.
Story. All right. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work on this here snake situation. What you're going for is a kind of gestural conversation. Don't worry. I'll lead you two through it. Give that snake a name and look her right in the eyes and say her name. I'm gonna go with Delia for the purpose of demonstration, but you pick a suitable name.
What's your snake's name?
Try to follow along with me here to the best of your ability. Delia, take it easy now.
Sandra. Very good
This is
snake.
just a reflection of a reflection. Now hold the silence while she processes that metaphysical curveball. Okay, what's Delia up to now? If she's staring right back at you, press 1. If she's wriggling around, press 2. And if she's just kind of limp, press 3.
What's Sandra doing?
If she's
1.
staring right back,
Staring right back at you.
you got her attention. Now, leading with your shoulder, slowly tilt your body to the left. Always maintain
Left.
eye contact. Adjust your feet as necessary.
You are a snake charmer.
Over several seconds.
You don't even need the little flute thing.
Conscious. Try not to get tangled up in the phone cord, or next time plan ahead and use a cordless. Alright, where are we at? If the snake is breathing heavily, press 1. If she's curled around your forearm, press 2. If her tongue is extended, press 3.
What's Sandra up to now, Matt?
The snake is breathing heavily, press 1. If
2.
she's curled around your forearm, okay, I want you to tense your arm muscles and then
Tense?
relax them, one by one. Take slow, shallow breaths. Tense, relax, tense, relax. Try to focus all your thoughts on that blood coursing through your arm veins. Forget Delia is even there, just you and your blood. There you go. Delia should be in a kind of a calm, thoughtful state now, so you can move on. So, put that snake in some grass or something. Let Delia be free, like a snake
Be
should.
free.
Go ahead and wash your hands if you care to. I would. Welcome home.
Be free, Sandra the snake.
Sites along the Echo River. Press 1. For a guide
Okay,
to the
I'm hanging up again so I can use that extension. We are not ready to go. We're calling again. $16.18. I think it's 9, right?
Hello. You have dialed into Here and There Along the Echo, a guide to the Echo River for drifters and pilgrims. This guide is a public service provided by
Okay.
the Bureau of Secret Tourism.
I'll click it when it starts giving me the options.
For a menu, now is the time to dial an extension.
16:18.
Something else shook loose. Well, how vivid is it? I mean, can you really smell it? Are you sweating it out now? Are your hands all damp? And when you brush your hair out of your eyes, it just tastes like... Listen, if your hands are damp, press 1. If your feet are damp in your socks,
Ew.
press 2.
Ew.
If you don't feel particularly damp anywhere, press 3.
I don't feel particularly damp anywhere. Matt, your hands are feeling clammy?
Damp, press 1.
You have sweaty hands?
Feet are damp in
I have sweaty hands sometimes.
press 2. If you don't, I had a feeling they might be. That's good. That's where it'll soak in.
Good sweaty
Rest in
hands.
shape. Let's hear all about it. When you're finished explaining yourself, press the 0 button.
Not gross. Good. Tell us about your sweaty hands, Matt. Tell dreamy sound and phone man about your sweaty hands. They're sweaty and their hands. Very, very nice. Good job. Couldn't have explained it any better myself. And they're my hands.
Welcome home. For historical sites along the Echo River, press 1. Well, if you're dialed into this here informational resource, then you're a certain kind of beachcombing, bat-calling sightseer. So let's take
Sounds like me.
inventory. For a diver's guide to underwater islands,
Ooh.
press 1. For forgotten places,
Ooh.
press 2. For restless places, press
Ooh.
3.
These all sound very good.
What little we know of the Iron Pariah, press 4. For food and drink recommendations, press 5. To return to the main menu, press 6. To hear these options again,
You gotta head to bed since I need to get up early, but have a great rest of the stream. I'll be lurking as you get ready. Thanks for stopping by, Matt. I appreciate you.
guide to
Sleep
underwater
well.
islands, press
Get those Z's. Have a good day tomorrow.
places, press 2.
For
Restless places,
Yeah, definitely do it if you have some time. Write this number down. And you can have fun exploring it yourself.
for food and drink
Yeah, this game is also
to return
really cool.
to press 6.
It's all like point and click
Again,
and like a lot of reading, but it's very, very cool and very surreal, and I love it. Okay, I definitely have not been paying attention, so I'm going to pay attention this time.
islands, press 1. For forgotten places, press 2.
Feeling forgotten places.
Secret tourism, forgotten places are the vital spark. Take no pictures here, nor souvenirs. Write no travelogues. We will discuss these places now in vague and qualified descriptions.
Very nice.
Town with no roads to it, press 1. For the silo of late reflections, press 2. For the monument to something that we don't remember what it is, press 3. I suppose it must have been an important event if we felt we needed to commemorate it. The monument looks like it was a lot of work to put together. I wonder if it was a happy occasion, something we were celebrating and didn't want to let go of, or if instead it was something so horrible that we never wanted to forget it, for fear that we'd accidentally do it again. There isn't a plaque or anything. I guess we didn't think we'd need one. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. For forgotten places, press 2. For restless places, press 3. For what little we know of the
Okay, I think I'm done for right now. I still want to explore more of that, but I think I'm done for the day. On the phone, let's keep progressing in the story. Here, there, along the echo. We'll start Act 4, play for a little bit, and we'll end for the night. Wow. I like how this like mechanical mammoth is like our foghorn. Or whatever it's called. 5.4 Context Backlash. General wear on the gestural gear mounting apparatus 5A-1 may result in undesirable play between teeth and in the context and history state machine gears, causing stuttering, slippage, resetting, skipping. Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese mammoth. But maybe not as creepy as the Chuck E. Cheese animatronics. Those are a little terrifying. Who's Will? Well, this is not at all helpful. Table of contents, 0 introduction, 1 installation, 2 orientations. Where's 3? 4 order of operations. 3, the passage of time. 5 gestures, 6 final notes. Throwing this thing out. My savior, our friend here is in a bad way. Any insight? I try to stay clear of high voltage these days. I don't at all blame you, especially down here. On the water, I mean. Sure, it's dangerous, but this is where she lives. What brings you down to the Echo tonight? Just tagging along. Ha, that doesn't sound like you. We dragged some folks to a show, just returning the favor. I'm sure your new friends appreciate the company. It's no shame to be lonesome. We picked you up at the bureau tonight. Never seen you that far upriver before. I hope that doesn't mean you've been traveling on the 0. Yeah, have you been there? The 0? Oh, no, not me. This old river rat steers clear of the weird highways. I've been traveling this river for more than half my life, more or less, alone. I think I've seen it change quite a bit in all those years, but I can't say for sure. The water has a peculiar way of making a person forgetful. Some nights I remember a place, but it's full of strange new people, and some nights I meet an old friend in an unfamiliar shore. I wonder which kind of night this is. I too wonder what kind of night this is. Act 4, Scene 1. The Mucky Mammoth. Is that the ship's name? Whoa. Ooh, do we talk to Kate or Will? I'm gonna talk to Kate. Is that a dog? How's that cold river spray treating you? I thought I saw you squinting. It's hard water, you know, hard on the eyes. It still irritates mine a little, and I'm piloting a tugboat through it 6 nights a week. Don't be too shy to close them in public. Your eyes, I mean. People will just assume you're thoughtful. You need tea. Let's mix up some slippery elm, instant coffee, and dried spring agaricus. Just add swamp snake and that'd be a love potion. I'm teasing. Where am I? How far are we from Dogwood Drive? The Echo is dicey tonight. Bad luck for you. Expect waves and diversions. Dogwood Drive is by the Silo mail stop, but we may need to spend some time on the indirect route before we hit your stop, okay? And there's other business. Mail to drop off, garbage to pick up, and a few favors to execute, all dotted on the riverbanks from here to there. I hope you enjoy the trip on our little mammoth. Take advantage of all the amenities: fresh air, cozy bunks, hot tea, the video room. There's some pretty interesting tapes down there, actually. Unusual, I mean. Weird. Watch out that VCR doesn't take your hand off, though. It's untrustworthy. What's wrong with the VCR? I could take a look. Oh, please do. I don't know anything about electronics. Maybe try a few different tapes. You'll get the picture. Hey, do me a favor. Go ask Will how the repairs are going and if he needs anything. We're coming up on the next stop here, just refueling and picking up a few things. I could grab a bolt or some wire or something, whatever he needs. Well, eyes on the road. Haha. I like her. I also like this mammoth. Singing quietly, for we on mold and whiskey fed and... Oh, white gears. White gears? Probably, who knows. First thing I tried anyway. Down here by this little blue box, I took all the gears out and dried each one by hand, and then I loaded them back in again. That took care of the grinding sound, but her trunk keeps doing that sparking, clanking, weeping thing. To be honest with you, I'm not really qualified for this work. Kate's a friend, you know how it is, don't you? How do you two know each other? So, ever walked through rolling farmland? Just drove, I guess. Right, nobody does it unless it's their land to farm. I mean, they'll walk from barn to tractor or tractor to truck, you know. Well, I sure did. I slipped under or over fences, and I walked barefoot with the seeds when they were just planted and tilled the earth with my toes. Hey, I should tell you where I left my shoes. Did you know I'm a classically trained organist? It's true. Look at these long fingers and pedal-gripping toes. It doesn't matter. A minor in French literature earned me a position teaching Artaud to Zola at the university. He's the guy who we heard playing the organ at the bureau a few days ago. That very long organ song that we had to listen to like 3 times on the phone tree. Well, some shitty governor cut state funding for our department, and I was demoted to mopping floors, running wiring through the walls, or in dangerous places. I even operated the soundboard at the student theater. I left my shoes there at the university. It was a protest. Walk without shoes for something important or tragic. I ended up by the shore, and soon I was drifting along the Echo. It ran for a while above ground then. It doesn't anymore. But I prefer subterranean waters anyway. Kate brings me along, and I record what I see and hear. I try to help with the maintenance. I drop off the mail and pick up the trash. On occasion, I take the helm. Anyway, that's all I try to remember anymore. I listen to the river's stories, and my own stories get fainter and fainter. Well, I'll just keep drying gears, I guess. Ezra runs up to Shannon. Whoa, slow down. It's slippery up on deck. Do you have batteries? Yeah, of course. What for? Johnny said I could use his tape recorder, but it needs a battery. Oh, fine. Well, Shannon searches her pockets. Here's 4 different kinds. Surely one of these should fit. Thank you. I need to ask if you need anything. Oh, I guess Ezra's talking to him. You got your batteries, small man? Go get you some tape. Ooh, very cool. Really? You were entranced. You don't remember this? It's okay. We've all seen a lot of concerts. Cyrano opened. His tape machine was broken or something. It got really cosmic. Right, at the flower shop. I remembered that show. Sorry, Clara. Well, you have a second chance to hear it tonight. That was fast. Got the batteries? Let's see. Perfect. This one will do. So you hit this button here to record. Hold it right here so you don't cover the microphone with your hand. I bet you'll find a lot of good sounds just around the tugboat. There's plenty of tape in there, so don't be stingy with it. Just record anything that catches your ear. It really changes the way you listen. For the better, I mean. Are you playing a concert tonight? I could record that. Yeah, Clara came all the way from Lithuania just to do this Echo River gig. Haha, it's a tour. Tomorrow I'll be in Nashville and then Atlanta, and then over to the coast. Brutal. Well, we're lucky she's making a stop. Johnny and I saw her play once, and I remember loving it, and Johnny was moved. Speaking of Cyrano, it's his night at the rum colony. Kate said she usually stops off there. Well, that's ideal. I'm supposed to meet a lady there to look at some old engine parts about 3 hours ago. 3 hours goes fast at the rum colony, ma'am. I bet she's still there. I hope we don't stop there too long. My concert is soon. I don't want to keep them waiting. Nah, it's river time. Nobody expects you to be punctual. Hey, why don't you give that tape recorder a try? See if that cat over there has anything he wants to say. I often use found sounds in my music. If you find some interesting sounds tonight, you can help me out. Oh, does Conway now have a skeleton arm, too? I didn't realize that. This cat is cute, though. You know, it's the strangest thing. I can't remember why I came up here. Neither can I. Haha, damned noisy river. It's just that thing about, what was it? When you walk through a door, you go into the kitchen for something, and as soon as you pass from one room to another, you forget what you wanted. I do that all the time. This is a feeling I know very well. You have to walk back out just to remember, like you left a part of your brain behind. Hey, I wonder if I could follow that brain crumb trail all the way back to the room I was born in. Conway cranes his neck over the railing. You were driving for hours. Get any sleep? I had a weird dream. Yeah, that's when you get the strangest dreams, when you nod off, right? Just kind of dip your toes into sleep and some weird image floats by and takes a nibble. Shannon leans over the railing and looks at the river below. It does look cold, doesn't it? Yeah, better keep that kid away from the edge. A person could easily fall in. He's been exploring. Should I be worried? I'm fine. I was talking about Ezra. It's good for him. It's important to know how to be alone. What's up, huh? You look like there's something you want to ask. Fine, you can ask it. One question. Do you really have to go work at hard times? Didn't seem so bad, did it? It's a way to live. I mean, rent to bed, eat at the cafeteria. Not like I have a choice. I think we always have choices, I feel like. And it just depends on the consequences. Consequences, depending on which choice you make you feel like you never had a choice. But I think most of the time we do have choices. I don't know. I've got to repay my debt. Hell, I should be grateful for the opportunity. If you want to die with any dignity, you've got to settle up. And that's why it's such a damn shame when people go sudden. Oh, the echo's a little different. I like this though. I'm sure I talk too much. Everyone on this river does. The problem is that we listen twice as much as that. We're only telling you half of the stories we hear. Kate told me I ought to have been a photographer. She said, you have the uncanny way of having been in the place at the time the thing happened there. And that's the hardest part of taking a photograph anyway. Nice of her to say, but it isn't true. Though I know just about every story on this river, most of them I've picked up second, third, or fourth hand, and so on. Listening, see? Now, I know what you're going to ask, so I'm going to answer it. Yes, I'm sure they're all true. I personally believe a story gets more true as it's tossed around from brain to brain and the whole community brings their insight to bear on the brittle facts of experience. There are a few Echo River stories I witnessed directly. I saw that big owl migration pass through. You might have heard about that. I was there when the old train station flooded. I saw the ghost of Stephen Bishop brew up a batch of white lightning on a raft. Or, anyway, I talked to a few sailors who recently crossed paths with him, and I suspect sampled his wares. One night, when I was working on the Mucky Mammoth, we picked up a gaggle of passengers headed down to a mail drop by the silo of Late Reflections. I knew a couple of them in passing, a pair of traveling musicians who I often encountered on the river. The others were strangers to me at the time, a young woman, a small boy, and an old man whose name I didn't catch. Oh, and a smelly old dog. We docked at a gas station so the Mammoth could refuel. Ezra followed Junebug and Johnny into the gas station. Okay, it's a new scene. I think this is where we'll end for the night because it is 10 o'clock and it's getting close to my bedtime. All right, I'm gonna end it here. I appreciate everyone who is in here or who came by. Thanks for being here. I appreciate y'all. I will probably be live on Wednesday, most likely. I'm trying to do Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. So yeah, I hope to see anyone who's in here or who has dropped by. I hope to see y'all then. We will continue with this game. We might be able to finish on Wednesday, but most likely Thursday, I expect. But we're getting close to finishing, which is good. Making progress. So, I'm just gonna end it here tonight. Maybe a raid on Wednesday. I'm gearing myself up for it. I'm getting closer. I can feel it. But yeah. Yep. I appreciate all of you here, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks. Good night. Talk to you later.